Hey everyone, KilloX here to catch the rarest and most powerful Pokemon in Pokemon Go, and today we are going to be completing the entire Pokédex, finally, with all the regionals complete and every other Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Cool thing too, because it's right before Gen 4 coming out. We'll also be talking about possible regionals that'll be coming out with Gen 4, which are very interesting. So stick around after I complete the Pokédex, as we're going to be talking all about that. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and let's start off with the final Pokemon to complete it. Alright, so it's finally going to be time. We're going to be completing the entire Pokédex, which is pretty awesome too, because we're going to be doing it right before Gen 4, which is going to come out any time now, so you know, might as well complete the Pokédex now. It's taken me a while to get these trades in order. I do have some shiny trades in the works and some unknown trades, but at the time being, you know, schedules are a little bit iffy, so I finally was able to get a Relicanth trade in, so we're going to be getting that in right now, and we're going to finally complete the entire Pokédex in Pokemon Go. Now I just gotta wait a little bit. Alright, so we're going to do the final trade to complete the entire Pokédex, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully we get those other Pokemon soon to complete the empty spots in Gen 3 that have not been added into the game yet, but this is currently the Pokemon Go Pokédex that we're going to be completing, which is awesome because we're going to get all the regionals down, and when Gen 4 comes along, there's going to be a whole new batch of regionals that are going to be coming out, and my predictions for them are going to be Chatot and Carnivine, but that'll be later in the video as I want to get this trade down right now. Alright, now it's finally over. We have gotten the last Pokemon in the Pokédex, Relicanth. Now, I did drop a lucky egg, thank goodness, for the, you know, last Pokédex edition in the game until Gen 4 arrives, which is going to be awesome for this Halloween event. And, oh, okay, we got Relicanth in the Pokédex. We don't know if it's lucky yet, which, come on, the last Pokemon. Okay, at least we got it. So, at least we have completed the entire Pokédex now. But here's the one issue. Now I want to complete the Lucky Dex, which is going to be very difficult. I also got to complete the unknown decks as well. Only a few more left. I think I've only got like 4 possibly, and I think I have 2 trades set up, so we're not going to get the gold medal, but we're going to be extremely close. But still, we have completed the entire Pokédex, which is awesome. 461 on this one, and we're going to hopefully complete the Lucky Dex. I'm going to try on that, but Niantic really messed up the lucky rate, so we'll do that eventually. So now we finally got it. 377 out of 377, completing the Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn Pokédex, which is awesome. It's amazing that we got it all. We do also need the ones that they haven't added in the game yet, like Smeargle, Clamperl, Gorybus, Huntail, you know, those ones. But they'll probably add them over time after Gen 4 comes out, which is, you know, only coming out in a few days. So that's going to be something pretty awesome to see, and, you know, I won't have the complete Pokédex then, but at least I could say I have a complete Pokédex now of the first 3 generations until Gen 4 comes around to mess it all up. But even then, it's only going to add the ghost types, so I'll probably get the complete Pokédex when the Halloween event happens as well. But I want to go over Luckies briefly because it's actually something more than that. It's basically just all odds in general. It's very odd. Like, I know that this has been since they added the chance of guaranteed Luckies, but the chances have been super bad since they've added it, and it's really been messing me up. I can go 50 trades without a Lucky now, which is very, very bad. But it seems like just like all the odds are out of whack now. Like, for instance, it's actually been raining every now and then, and not a single Lotad has shown up. Like, I know they're a little bit rare even in their own weather, but the thing is that, like, not a single one has shown up, which is very odd for how long it's been raining. Also, on top of that as well, although the nearby doesn't show it, ghost types have been spawning a lot as well, which is very odd. It's kind of like they're leading up to the Halloween event in some way, because I've been going out now and catching a ton of Shuppets and a ton of Duskulls as if it's the Halloween event, so stuff has been very odd lately. Now for some important news, actually the Sinnoh Pokédex was added into Pokemon Go, and if you actually go, there's a little icon in the Pokédex now for Sinnoh, and a line showing it as well, which is pretty interesting that they're getting this set up, and actually every single Pokemon is in the code, so that means that we can get it any second now. We're just waiting. And the thing is too is that it's a pretty big coincidence that we ended up completing the Pokédex right before they added the Sinnoh dex, so once that happens, you know, there's gonna be a whole new Pokédex for me to complete. But if things go the way I think they're going, we'll probably only get the Halloween ghost type Pokemon, so that probably shouldn't be too difficult to get. And with the new generation comes new regionals, which are actually pretty exciting, and what I predict will be the regionals of the Sinnoh region. There will probably be some more, but I think the main 2 ones that'll possibly more likely be regionals is Carnivine and Chatot. Now my idea for this is actually because I just think they look like regionals. This isn't set in stone, but I do believe that Carnivine and Chatot look mostly the part for a regional. The issue is though is Carnivine's location. I'll get to Chatot in a second, but The odd thing about Carnivine is that its design, which is based off of the Venus flytrap, is native to actually America. So the weird thing is that where would he be? Well, the thing is that with his name, he also has to do with vines as well. So it's not just the Venus flytrap that has a part in where he could be, because it opens the location to be at quite a few places. Maybe South America, maybe Africa, but the issue is that those are already taken up. With Africa being the Gen 3 Tropius, so obviously they wouldn't take it out from there because it is just Africa. But for South America, there is something a little different. Now, the reason why this is important is because Heracross not only takes up South America, but it also takes up Mexico as well. So what I think would be a good possibility is that maybe they can move Heracross to being just Mexico and then having Carnivine be South America. Just because if they will make this actually a regional, this could be an open spot for it, but it could go in a lot of different places. I just think South America would be a nice spot for it, as it won't be a regional that is shared with Mexico now, so Mexico will get its own and South America will get its own. Now, the really odd factor about Chatot is that, you know, its design is based off of a parrot, which can be found at a lot of different places on the world, mostly in the southern hemisphere. So there's the issue in that, as it can be in a ton of different places, but I'm gonna knock off some places because they're already filled up with a different regional. Now, obviously South America is out of the case because there's Heracross, and I already thought that maybe they could put Carnivine there. Probably not, but you know, still a possibility. Tropius also takes up Africa, and also New Zealand is taken up by the newly acquired Relicanth. So Chatot doesn't have a lot of room to actually go to, as those are some of the biggest places in the southern hemisphere that have been taken up. Also Australia with Kangaskhan, forgot about that. Now, a possibility would be Madagascar. That'd be a nice place for Chatot to be. Not sure how people would get it though. That would be a very difficult regional to get, but still, it is a possibility. Madagascar could be a nice place for Chatot, and regionals haven't been exempt from islands before, as Relicanth has been taking up New Zealand and a few islands in the area. And for some of the other regionals that take up like half of the world and the other half of the world, like Volbeat and Illumise, I think that Shellos would be a nice one. Now, Shellos doesn't have two different Pokemon, so it would pretty much only be for collectors, but there is a different look of Shellos depending on if it's on the west side or the east side. So they could make it so that one half of the world is the west Shellos and the other half of the world is the east Shellos, which would evolve into their respective Gastrodons. Now, Mime Jr is a tricky one, as it is a baby Pokemon, which means that it has to be hatched in order to get, but the thing is that Mr. Mime is only available to get in Europe, so the really weird question about it is how will people actually get Mime Jr? Now, what I think is that it would have to be from eggs that you only get from Europe. Possibly 5K eggs, but this is going to be a very, very difficult regional to get if they will treat it as such, because if they make it just a normal Pokemon you can hatch from eggs, then that means Mr. Mime isn't a regional anymore and something else has to take up all of Europe. So it leaves a lot of questions, as when they dropped out regionals for 7Ks actually, with that event that was going on, I actually thought that a good idea was that they would just drop Mime Jr right there, as it was the perfect time. Mr. Mime was hatching from eggs, but I guess that wasn't in their highest priorities and they probably have something else ready for him. But it still begs the question, is the egg going to be a regional exclusive in order to get yourself the Mime Jr? Now, another good possible regional is actually Burmy and Wormadam, because the odd thing about Wormadam is when Burmy evolves, the three different kinds actually have three different typings. Now, as Burmy has just a different look for each one, the Wormadam also has a different look, but also has a different typing and stats as well, which is very interesting on how they'll actually deal with it. Will they make it a regional that's split 3 ways of the world? I wonder how exactly they'd actually go through with that. They'd probably maybe treat it as they did with the legendary beasts, as they split Raikou, Entei, and Suicune at 3 different parts of the world and rotated them over time. So that is a good possibility of what they might do, as it has been shown that they have done something like that before, but just with legendaries. So they could possibly do it with the regional as well. And those are what I think may be the new possible regionals for the Sinnoh region in Pokemon Go. Now, this region is really filled with a lot of Pokemon that you need to evolve into, baby Pokemon, and just some possible regionals. So there are a lot to catch outside of those. It's just not as likely as a Pokemon like Generation 3. And we finally did it. We completed the entire Pokedex in Pokemon Go. Very difficult challenge, but we finally did it. It was awesome, and I had fun the entire time. And I like that we finished it off with a Pokemon like Relicanth, because Relicanth at first wasn't one of my favorite Pokemon, but over time and its inclusion into Pokemon Go, I've been liking it a lot more, and it's a pretty awesome regional, to be honest. Which is why I think like Carnivine and Chatot would be a nice Pokemon as well to have as a regional, because you know, you kind of get that feel from a Pokemon when you think like, oh yeah, this would be something that looks like a regional, and I feel like this was one of their best choices for a actual regional Pokemon, as it is really awesome, and I'm just so happy that we got this all over now. Now, as you see, there is the Sinnoh badge for Gen 4, which will be coming anytime now, but here we go. We have the whole Pokédex complete. Took a long time, but I am so happy that we finally got it all complete. Now, the thing is though, is that now I'm on to the second quest, at least until Gen 4 comes, which, you know, it's probably going to be in a few days, so, you know, only going to take a little bit, but one of my major ones is to complete the Unknown Dex. Almost done with that, still working on it, but we'll be really close with the trades that I have set up. We've got some other ones going on. I want to complete the Lucky Dex, as there are a lot of lucky Pokemon I still need to get. I'm currently at 189 different Luckies, but with the new rework, as I said, it's been bringing me way back in how many Luckies I get within like a week span. So, you know, it's getting slower, but still, we're at a very high level, and we'll be getting some more over time. I also want to work on the Shiny Dex. I want to get some more, so I obviously can't get 100% as they're adding so many so fast now. So, you know, that's not a possibility, but I want to get at least in like the 75-80% range, and currently I am at around the 50%, like 55-60% range. So, you know, we're getting there. We're gonna get some more with some trades, but, you know, for the time being, there's a lot I want to complete, and we still got a lot to go. So thank you so much for watching. This has been awesome. We got all the rare Pokemon, all the difficult evolutions, and the regionals to finally finish it all off until, you know, Gen 4 comes along. So thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. And I also have a video you might be interested in, all about Giratina, his strengths, his weaknesses, pretty much everything about him. And if you want to check it out, it'll be at the end of this video at the end slate. And also on top of that, I talk about the Halloween event, which Pokemon are most likely to be shiny and how they will actually deal with them. So if you're interested in a video like that, check it out in the end slate. And until Gen 4 comes, see ya.